Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Civil Engineering Studies. If you like my videos, then please do press like button and subscribe button. Here this is our subscribe button, and also hit the bell icon for the latest notifications of my upcoming videos, and click on share button so that your friends also get benefited. Today I am going to start hydrology. So what is hydrology? Before we discuss about hydrology, let us discuss about some important terms. First point, we generally know that water is present in three states. That is, first in liquid form, in solid form, that is ice, and in vapor form or gaseous state. So now hydrology, definition of hydrology. It is the science of water which deals with the occurrence, circulation and distribution of water on Earth's surface and its atmosphere. So here water which deals with occurrence means what is the source of water. Here the three states, obviously liquid, solid and gaseous, where it comes from, source, and circulation, that is the movement of the water, where the water in three states where it should go, and distribution of water, where it should supply on earth's surface, means on our mother earth's surface, or on the atmosphere. So now next, there are two types of hydrology. One is scientific hydrology and another is engineering or applied hydrology. In scientific hydrology, the study which is concerned with academic aspects, and in engineering or applied hydrology, a study which is concerned with engineering application or aspects. Now next is hydrological cycle. What is hydrologic cycle? It is a cycle in which water moves from one place to another having different precedence time. Here, water never leaves the earth. It constantly being cycled through the atmosphere, ocean or land surface. Right. For say short example, this is our ocean surface. Here evaporation takes place, that is the liquid which is moving into the atmosphere. This is our atmosphere. So it is moving into the atmosphere, and then here it is forming clouds, and then after formation of clouds it again comes to our land surface or this oceanic surface in the form of precipitation. There are different types of precipitation: rain, hail, sleet, etc. We will discuss it on later videos. So in the form of precipitation, it again, or rain, it again come back to our land surface or in the ocean. So this cycle, this process, this is a part of hydrologic cycle. So this process of water from the ocean to the atmosphere and then back again to the ocean, this cycle of water, this is known as hydrologic cycle. And these hydrologic cycle, that is water from this ocean to atmosphere, and then in forming clouds and again coming water to this ocean, this hydrologic cycle is driven by sun's energy, that is by solar energy only. This hydrologic cycle is driven. In ocean surface, evaporation is greater than precipitation, and on land surface, evaporation is less than precipitation. What does this mean? This is our ocean, say. In this, here evaporation means the water from the ocean to the atmosphere. The rate of this process, the rate of evaporation is greater than the water forming clouds here and then coming back to the ocean. Here this rate is higher than this rate, and vice versa. That is, this is our land surface, this is our land, and the water from these land surface means the evaporation from these land surface, the rate of the evaporation is slower than the rate of water coming to the land surface. Right, here evaporation rate is slower than this precipitation rate. Now see this diagram, this is hydrological cycle. This is a complete sketch of hydrological cycle. Here this is our solar energy, this is sun source, from where this hydrological cycle is being possible, is driven through the sun's energy only. and this is form of precipitation. This is the precipitation, and in the form of, here it is written snow, in the form of snow or rainfall, sleet, hail. This all are types of precipitation: snow, hail, sleet, rainfall. So we will discuss about the types of precipitation in my upcoming videos. I will elaborately discuss there only. So now just remember the terms like snow, rainfall, hail, sleet. These all are types of precipitation. So here precipitation means the water liquid from the atmosphere coming to the land surface in the form of snow or in the form of rainfall, or then it is passing into this earth surface, and here it is here there is an storage, small storage. See, this is stream, and then again the runoff, the surface runoff passing and meeting the ocean, flowing through this land surface, meeting this water or precipitation, meeting this ocean. And some precipitation is percolated or infiltrated through our land surface, through the soil, to the groundwater storage. This is our groundwater storage, right? This is our groundwater storage. Here the water is, or the precipitation is percolated through our soil and it is stored here, and then again the stored water from ground meeting this here, the ocean, and from this ocean evaporation is taking place. From this land surface also evaporation is taking place, through the soil evaporation is taking place, and then again formation of cloud, here cloud formation, and again this precipitation occurs. This precipitation occurs after formation. So this cycle goes and goes around. As you can see that this is a continuous process from water, and here water is vital. So we must understand where to find water and how hydrological cycle supplies water to the earth, right? And now I will discuss each terms one by one in this hydrological cycle, like precipitation, evaporation, groundwater storage. Here there is one term transpiration also. Transpiration, evapotranspiration. It is not mentioned in this diagram. I am going to discuss it. So first let's discuss about precipitation. So what is this term precipitation? Precipitation means when water in the clouds, here this is our clouds, this is the clouds, see this is the clouds. So when water in the clouds becomes too heavy, gets too heavy, that the water falls back to the earth, to the land surface, or to the earth, land surface or oceans, etc. So this process is known as precipitation. So what is precipitation? When water in the clouds gets too heavy and the water falls back to the earth, this is called precipitation, right? There are different types of precipitation. We will discuss it on our later videos. And next term is infiltration. Infiltration means the water seeping into the water seeping below the ground surface through the soil. Okay, so sometimes what happens, after water gets seeped into the ground surface, after seeping of this water, the water gets stored in the groundwater storage. This groundwater storage, or sometimes the water just seeps below the soil surface, land surface, and then meeting here the oceans or evaporation. After seeping, it meets the ocean. It will not get percolated and meet the groundwater recharge storage. So when the water gets seeped and meeting the groundwater recharge storage, after this process is known as infiltration. So infiltration is what? Seeping of water below the surface through the layers of soil is known as infiltration. And what is the difference? Sometimes we get confused between the term infiltration, infiltration and percolation. So what is the basic difference is, infiltration means the water. Here the water which is coming to the ground surface, one type, after seeping the water is coming to the ground surface. Here it is recharging the groundwater storage. And other part is this, after seeping, after infiltration, the water is meeting this ocean, meeting the groundwater storage, and another is after seepage for a short duration meeting the ocean or lake streams. So there are two process of this infiltration. So when the water seeping through the soil layers, this is our soil layer, after seeping through these soil layers meeting the groundwater storage, this process is known as percolation. And this is simply seeping into the ocean. This is simply infiltration. Both are infiltration, but this process, when the water through the layers of soil coming and recharging this groundwater storage, this is percolation. That is deep infiltration, deep seepage of water through the soil layers, deep seepage. Here there is, the seepage is deep. The water is passed through the soil layers in a great depth. So this process is known as percolation. Now our next term in this hydrological cycle is surface runoff. This the water when passing through this land surface, surface runoff. So what is surface runoff? The process of water traveling over the ground surface and collecting in a water body is called surface runoff. So this is our ground surface. Right here some trees, and there may be some storage like this, and this is our ocean. So when water flowing over this ground surface, some storage here in streams, natural storage, and then meeting this water body, that is ocean, say. So this process, this whole system, water traveling over the ground surface, movement of water over the ground surface and get collected into this water body, this process is known as, this term is known as surface runoff. Here is stream. This is, you can see this is our stream. So here this is one of the storage. So next term in this hydrological cycle comes, that is storage. What is this? Storage means when water through the surface runoff, after traveling of this water to the groundwater surface, this water can be stored in some natural or man-made. Natural storage, that is lakes or streams, and man-made storage, that is reservoirs, or here this is groundwater storage. So when the water traveling through the ground surface or after infiltration, so when the water gets stored in some natural or artificial structure, that is known as storage. When the water is collected in these artificial or man-made structures, collecting structures, so this is known as storage. This is one of the hydrological terms or components of hydrological cycle. Now next is evaporation. So what is this evaporation? Evaporation, through the solar energy, through the heat from the sun, the hydrological cycle runs. So it causes the water in this ocean, which gets converted into water vapor in the atmosphere, water vapor which gets stored in the air, right? So this process is known as evaporation, and this is mainly driven by sun's energy only. So the sun's energy starts this hydrological cycle, causing water from these water body converted into water vapor. Water, when converted into water vapor through sun's energy, that term or that process is known as evaporation. Now the next term is transpiration. So here you can see these trees. So what is this transpiration? This is again our land surface. This is one tree. So now water, the water, when transpiration occurs, when plants take in water through the roots. Okay, through the roots it takes in water and release it through the leaves of the plant. It leaves the water through its plants or leaf into the atmosphere. That process is known as transpiration. Means the water from the leaf, if there is the leaf of the plant, so from the leaf only, from this leaf, this is one leaf of the plant, from this leaf the water droplets present in this leaf leaves this leaf. When the water droplet from this leaf goes into the atmosphere in the form of water vapor, that process is known as transpiration. So what is transpiration? The water, when collected in this root zone, and through this root zone when water comes to the leaf of this tree, and then the water leaves these leaves to form into the atmosphere. When the water goes to the atmosphere from this leaf in the form of water vapor, this process is known as transpiration. And next is evapotranspiration. What is evapotranspiration? Similarly, say this is our tree, and here there is soil in this root of the tree. So the water which is evaporated, the water which goes into the atmosphere from the surrounding soil of this tree, the water which goes into the atmosphere in the form of water vapor from the surrounding soil of this tree, that is known as evaporation. And the water which is going from the leaf of this tree into the atmosphere in the form of water vapor, this is known as transpiration, as we have discussed earlier. So the total term, the total process, that is the evaporation from this root zone soil of this tree and the transpiration from the leaf of this tree, is known as, this total process is known as evapotranspiration. Okay, so about 90% of atmospheric water comes from evaporation, while the remaining 10% is from transpiration. Last term is condensation. So what is condensation? Here the process comes condensation. So now when a water, obviously in the form of water vapor, when the water leaves the land surface and meeting the atmosphere, so it is in the form of water vapor. When the water vapor rises higher in the atmosphere, it starts to cool. It starts to cool because as we go up and up in the atmosphere, then the temperature there reduces, and so the water when goes higher in the atmosphere, it starts to cool and becomes liquid again, as it was in the land surface. So it starts to cool and become a liquid again. This process is known as condensation. So when a large amount of water vapor condenses, it results in the form of clouds, and again the hydrological cycle starts. Then these clouds in the form of precipitation comes to our land surface, then again transpiration, evaporation occurs, then again the water goes into the atmosphere. So this cycle, this is a continuous cycle. Now next topic, this is all about hydrological cycle. Now we will go with next topic, that is catchment area. So what is catchment area? The area draining into the river or stream is called as catchment area for that particular stream. What does it mean? That, see, this is our catchment area. So this is our tributaries coming from this catchment and joining this main river, and this is our outlet point. So the water which is collected from this whole area in this outlet point, this is known as the water collected for this particular catchment. This is the catchment for this particular area. This is here, this quantity of water is collecting from this area, from this catchment only. Okay, and the line, this is you can see the boundary of our catchment area, and the line which is dividing the other catchment. Maybe there is one other catchment, this is one other catchment, this is another catchment. So this line which is dividing the surrounding catchment from this particular catchment area, from this particular drainage area, this line is known as divide or ridge. This line is known as ridge. It is called as ridge or divide or watershed. Ridge is known as, ridge is basically the term we will used in India, and divide is used basically in USA, and watershed in UK. So these are the three common terms which is used in different locations. So this is the catchment boundary which is known as divide or ridge or watershed. Now next is this catchment area. The area of this drainage, the area of this catchment is basically calculated by an instrument known as planimeter. So this is all about catchment area. So here you can see this is our catchment area, this is watershed, divide or ridge, this is our river, main river, and these all are tributaries which is used, which is help us to drain out water from this catchment into this main river. And then here this is our station, we are collecting this water from this catchment. This is an schematic sketch of catchment area. Now next topic is global water budget equation. So here what is this mean? Global water budget equation, this is one of the important terms. Mass inflow minus mass outflow is equal to change in mass storage. What does it mean? Let's say this is a bucket of water, and here there is an water up to this depth, say h, and from outside water is coming in, and then the height is increased up to capital H. Say this is capital H. So now what is the change in storage? So earlier this is, sorry, let's take another example. Let's say this is our bucket of water having capital H as storage, and some water is being pulled out from this bucket of water, and then our storage becomes this small h. So what is this change in storage? Capital H minus small h, this is the change in storage. Now our net storage is what? This is our net storage. Earlier the storage is h. Now this amount of water has been taken out. Let's say this is our small h, not this is our small h, not this is our small h, this is our small h. So now our storage becomes this much. So this is what? Capital H minus small h. This is the global water budget equation. That is mass inflow. Earlier our mass inflow is capital H. Then mass outflow, that is here, this is small h. Then what is the net storage or change in storage is capital H minus small h. This is our net storage left. Okay, this is all about global water budget equation. Now we will apply this global water budget equation in our hydrologic cycle. What does it say? That P minus R minus G minus E minus T is equal to delta S. What does this mean? That say this is our land surface, clouds. Here precipitation comes onto this land surface, so this is P, precipitation. And then some water percolated and meeting our groundwater storage, that is say G, this is G. And there is an surface runoff, say capital R. And another is evaporation and transpiration. Say evaporation is capital E, this is ocean, water from this ocean, that is say capital E. And transpiration, let's say this is our tree, plants, so water from the leaf of this plant, say this is capital T. So we know what is mass inflow minus what is global water budget equation is mass inflow minus mass outflow, that is equal to net storage or change in mass storage. Okay, Vi minus V out is equal to delta F. So what is inflow? First we will see here in this diagram what are the inflows. So what are the inflows here? One is P. P is here inflow. So let us write about first inflows. P. P here is an inflow. You can see another, there is an inflow to this land surface. No, this all are outflow from this ground surface, that is groundwater storage, that is an outflow from this land surface. Runoff, this is also an movement outflow from this land surface. And this you can see in this diagram, evaporation is also outflow and transpiration is also outflow. So P minus R minus G minus E evaporation minus T, that is equal to nothing but the net storage or the net water remains after subtraction of all these outflows from this land surface is known as change in mass storage, that is delta F. The net water remains, right, after this precipitation, say this is our precipitation, the water coming from this ground surface or from runoff, transpiration, evaporation back into the atmosphere, the net water which is stored in this land surface is known as delta F. This is known as delta F. Okay, this is all about global water budget equation. Now next is world water balance. So what is the percentage of water in different aspects? We will see here. Here you can see 97.5% of all water is about of all salt water, 99.04% present in ocean, 0.95% present in groundwater, 0.01% in lake. This is classification for salt water. And only 2.5% of all water is fresh water which we can use. So it is in the form of glaciers, snow pack and permafrost. And from this 2% of all water, ground it is 30.1%, lakes 0.29%, soil moisture, atmosphere, rivers and biosphere this much percent. This is all about the distribution of water, in which form the water is present, fresh water, salt water, that's it. Next is, now it is India's water budget. Generally our average annual precipitation is 4000 km cube. Out of this 4700 km is immediately lost to the atmosphere, and this much amount is soaks into the ground, like which is soaks into the ground, percolated or infiltrated into the ground to recharge the groundwater storage. And among this 1150 km cube, this much volume of water flows as surface runoff, okay, which is movement through the land surface. So now, and total water resources in our country have been estimated as 953 km cube. So nearly 62% or this much volume of total water resource is available in the Ganga river, Brahmaputra and Meghna basin. Okay, this much amount of volume of water and other amount of water out of this 4000, this much amount of water is we are getting from this Ganga, Brahmaputra and Meghna basin, and others we are getting from other basin. And the amount of and the next the net amount of water we are getting from other basins. Now atmospheric water balance equation is Vi. So here this is basically Vi plus Et plus A. This left hand side is basically outflow, that is from land surface to the atmosphere, and this is P V naught Vi plus some losses epsilon. This is to the land surface from the atmosphere. This is to the atmosphere in the left hand side, and the right hand side of the equation it is from the this is to the land surface, and this is to the atmosphere in the left hand side. So Vi, what is Vi? Vi is the inflow of water vapor to the Indian atmosphere. Inflow of water vapor means from the ocean or from the lakes, the water which is evaporated into the atmosphere, that is Vi. And Et is evaporation. Et is evapotranspiration. It is not evaporation, it is evapotranspiration, that is evaporation from the surrounding soil. As I have explained, this is tree, and evaporation from the surrounding soil and from the leaf of this plant to the atmosphere, that is evapotranspiration. And what is Vi? It is the initial water vapor present in the atmosphere. Initial water vapor which is present in the atmosphere, that is known as Vi. And in the right hand side, P is what? Precipitation, total precipitation we are getting. And V naught is the outgoing water vapor. It is the outgoing water vapor, V naught. And VAE, it is the water vapor present at the end of the period under consideration. Which is present? Water vapor present at the end of the period. Let's say we are considering for 2 hours, 3 hours. So after 2 hours, we are seeing the water vapor which is at present there in the atmosphere, that is known as VAE. Okay. Now, and this is some losses epsilon. So this is our atmospheric water balance of India. You can see this table, some values VAI, VI, ET, and all components here in million hectare meter volume. Next is hydrological water balance. So what is this? Equation is P plus I is equal to Q S plus ET plus QG plus delta S plus epsilon. So this is our hydrological water balance. Now what is this in left hand side? P is the total precipitation, and I is the total inflow as surface water. So this is our inflow. And in the right hand side, QS, what is QS? It is the outflow as surface water to oceans and other. It is the outflow, and it is evapotranspiration. And what is QG? It is the ground outflow, that is groundwater outflow, meeting the streams or oceans. Groundwater outflow, groundwater we are extracting water from groundwater storage. And delta S is obviously change in storage, and epsilon, this is some losses. So this is some hydrologic water balance sheet, some data for India, and all components are in million hectare meter per year. So today I will wrap up with this hydrologic water balance equation only. This is all about introduction to hydrology. In our upcoming videos we will going to study about catchment area, precipitation, etc. So thank you for watching my video, and if you like my videos, then please do press like and this subscribe button here. This is the subscribe button, and also hit the bell icon for the latest notifications of my upcoming videos, and click on the share button so that your friends also get benefited. Thank you for watching my channel, Civil Engineering Studies. Thank you, dear all.